afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the show. Tonight, we have a good one here. It is the American Sim Racing Club with the Postma Flooring Late Model Stocks Tour for the penultimate race of the season. We are at New Smyrna Speedway kicking off qualifying, and cars are on the track ready to take some laps. We're taking a look here at Brendan LaBelle here in the number 4, making his ASRC debut. LaBelle was second quick by the end of practice, so this 4 car has some decent speed. We'll see where he slots on in lap number 1. Good enough for the pole time at the moment, an 18.23 for the 4 car on lap number 1. Noah Boucher able to be second quick here at the moment. Chuck Darling rounding out the top 3 of the cars that have taken a lap here so far, as Justin Brooks cracks into the 17-second mark. LaBelle does go faster lap number 2, an 18.15 for the number 4 machine. Now we'll take a look here at the 1 car to the checkered flag. This is Tanner Tallarico, first lap 18.5, looking for some more, does get some more, an 18.18 and 18.18 for the number 1 car. That'll put him P number 3 quick here so far. Now we'll take a look here. This is JT Batson here in the 906. Ron Hart will slot up to P number 4 quick. As Batson looks like won't like this lap, we'll hit the reset button. We'll try and get back out. There's still about 2 minutes left in qualifying. And of course, just like we've had all season long here, folks, it is going to be a 12-car invert. And I think we only have about 13 cars here tonight on the premise, so we are going to pretty much have a full field invert. As here we go, 906, JT Batson on the clock here. Very close to the wall down the front stretch. Hopefully he didn't get a 0x. If you get any sort of contact point or off track during qualifying, that lap will not count, so we'll have to wait for him to come back around. Also on track, Dave Payton here trying to get a lap time as well in the 38 machine. Batson lap number 1, good enough for 12th quick, 18.82. Dave Payton able to throw down an 18.26. That'll put him P number 7 here at the moment. Right now, Batson with his lap time will lead the field to the green flag, as he'll come off at turn number 4 just in time to get his second lap. Does improve. He will go to 10th quick with an 18.52. Dave Payton able to crack into the top 5, slot into P number 4 with an 18.22. As that will wrap up things in practice, but we got to shout out the 33 machine. The man that's been on a mission, has been putting together and putting down racing. Justin Brooks with the quick time here tonight. We'll start 12th and, of course, start at the very end with winning last week. He will be the shotgun driver, so Justin Brooks will have some work ahead of him, but he has had that work all season long. As we get ready to rock and roll here, just about a minute and 30 until we turn these guys loose for 125 laps. And don't forget, folks, penultimate race here tonight only means 1 week left. Next week at Kern County. Right now it's Tanner Tallarico leading the points, I believe, over Zach Coyer. I have to double check. And then I know Justin Brooks sits P number 3, so it could be anyone's challenge by the end of this one. Here tonight, race information will look like the following. A nice cool night, 78 degrees. Same with the track temperature, 78 degrees as well for this half-mile high-speed racetrack. These curves have a lot of banking to them. It's going to be high-paced. These drivers can really sail these cars into the corner, but with it being a kind of paperclip-esque track, you really want to focus on that runoff, get that good exit speed. Of course, we got to thank all the sponsors here in ASRC, that being Postma Flooring, Boardwalk Subs, as well as LaPlante Racing Products. And thank you guys for tuning in here tonight. It should be a great race. I look forward to it here. As cars dialing in the last little bit, what they need, what they want to try and figure out. And we get ready to head down trackside to go through tonight's starting lineup for the 125 lap main event here tonight at New Smyrna. So warm up wrapping on up here. We wait to head on down, and with that, we'll do a little driver intro and get ready to go through the starting lineup here tonight. So here we go, the starting order looking like the following. The 145 machine, the kid himself, Ace Hart, will be leading the field to the green flag. To his outside will be the 13 of Zach Cold Beer Coyer, starting on the outside of the front row. Rolling off P number 3 will be the 906 machine, that is JT Batson. And to his outside, the 16, that is Noah Boucher. Rolling off 5th here tonight will be the 52, that is Jeff Dillon, and starting 6th is the 48, that is Tim Rogers. Starting 7th is the 88 of Chuck Darling, 8th going to the 51 of Ron Hart. Starting 9th is Dave Payne in the 38 machine, and then in 10th, our points leader coming into tonight, it is the 1 car of Tanner Tallarico. Brendan LaBelle will start 11th in the 4, Justin Brooks in the 33 would start 12th. There with the quick time, but we'll start all the way back on the field. Then we'll head to our last row here tonight. JJ McCray not going to make the call here tonight. He would have started 13th, and then 14th going to the 41 of TJ Hansen. So that'll do it here for the starting order here tonight as we get ready to rock and roll. I believe going green this time by, so the field is ready, is set for 125 laps here tonight. Ace Hart leading the field to the green flag. He's on the loud pedal nice and early, and we go green flag racing here at New Smyrna. The 145 will lead the charge down into turn number 1. Here comes Zach Coyer up on the high side trying to get things done. As always, Hart a little bit loose out. We'll check up the inside line. 3 wide further on back, but off of turn number 4, it's going to be Zach Cold Beer Coyer leading the way. Here at the start finish line, father-son battle for 3rd as Ace Hart under fire from his dad Ron in the 51. Ace gets a little squirrely there in 1 and 2, able to hang on to the race car, prevents the old man from getting on by. That time we'll drift on up. That will open up the door for the 51 drag race of the Harts down the front stretch, and Ron Hart will take over P number 3. Out in front, Zach Coyer leading the way. Tim Rogers has snuck into 2nd. Ron Hart in 3rd, Noah Boucher now into 4th. Then an intense battle for 5th as they go 3 wide down the front stretch. How will this work on out by the time they get into turn number 1? Looks like the 145 going to go way up the racetrack, give everyone plenty of room there. That'll allow the 4 of Brendan LaBelle to get on by. Same with the 88 of Chuck Darling. Now here comes Jeff Dillon, everyone fighting for those key positions here to try and get through the field, try and get where they want to be, as this is the time to do it while everyone is bunched on up, but still 120 laps left in this one here tonight. Oh, it's contact there. The 4 car sends the 906 way up the racetrack. Luckily, everyone able to keep their ships sailing and right it in the right direction, but man, that could have been bad. 4 car there, loose once again. That red number 4 there, maybe struggling with the handling up in lane number 2 here, beginning of this race. Justin Brooks started in 13th here tonight, has made it up already into 7th, maybe 6th, as he tries to work over the 4 car down the backstretch. They will drag race and have Chuck Darling right in front of them as well. Still side by side for that 6th position. More contact into turn number 1. LaBelle will find an opening. No, he gets loose, but able to still slide into that spot right on the nose of Jeff Dillon in the 52 machine. Last time by, Ron Hart, fastest car out on the speedway. He has made it up into 2nd, got around Tim Rogers. now sets its sights on Zach Corey. These two having some beef with each other earlier in the season. Are they all set with it? Looks like it. Corey will let the 51 go. Ron Hart, new race leader here on lap number 10. With Corey going that far up and on into lane number 3 and 4, that allows Tim Rogers to maybe get on by here in the 48 machine. Rogers able to get clear for a second here at the moment. Looks like Corey able to slot into third here right in front of Noah Boucher. Boucher keeping heavy pressure on the 13 machine, but the top 4 checking on out. Now Justin Brooks able to get clear of that pack behind. Justin Brooks into the top 5 already on lap 11. And the other car we got to watch is this yellow number 1 machine. Tanner Tallarico started in the 10th position here tonight. He has made it up to 8th, just trying to take his time, make sure he doesn't make any sort of enemies, and keeps that car as clean as possible. Right behind them, Dave Pay and Jeff Dillon go side by side. Maybe a late dive by Pay. Luckily, Dillon was able to make a little bit of adjustment there, because that could have been very bad. Here comes Dillon with the crossover move. Not going to have enough steam by the time they lift for turn number 3. An action-packed first 14 laps now. If I had to guess, things are going to cool on off just a little bit as everyone kind of running their pace, running their race. Everyone kind of similar lap times here at the moment. So we'll have to see what kind of race people want to run, but 15 laps in, they do have a set of tires over the wall in case they need it if a caution flag comes out. But with the car count we have tonight, it might be a little bit tough to get a caution, as now we see Justin Brooks working over the 16 of Noah Boucher. Boucher and Brooks go side by side here through turns 1 and 2. Oh man, Boucher, big time hit to the wall. I think he might have gotten loose there, maybe overcorrected it. It didn't seem like contact, but man, he slapped that thing a ton, and I think the 16 machine gonna have an early retirement here tonight. As Boucher will bring that thing pit side, we stay under the green flag conditions here. Ron Hart out in front, leading the way over Tim Rogers. Zach Coyer in third. Justin Brooks has made it up into 4th. Chuck Darling rounding out the top 5, but Darling has some pressure on his tailgate as a 4 car of Brendan LaBelle right there as well. I think as we're running here, let's ride on board maybe with Justin Brooks, try and see what he is seeing, see what the cars in front of him are doing. As we ride on the 33 machine of Justin Brooks as he closes on in the top 3 here tonight. Justin Brooks here has caught the back bumper here of Zach Moore. We'll go looking outside here and take a look, see the move for 3rd position here. As further I back, Brendan LaBelle getting around Chuck Darling. Darling maybe not the happiest camper with the 4 car there. Maybe some contact between the 2 of them for that position. Justin Brooks up to P number 3. Let's see what kind of fight Tim Rogers can put on up. We approach kind of the 5th mark of the race here next time by. And after that, we go into double-digit laps to go here. A long race if they want to try and make it this full 125. Will they have enough tire to do so with the pace that they are running out here tonight? This time by at the flag stand, it will be 99 laps to go. Oh, Tim Rogers a little bit loose off turn number 4. That will open up the door for Justin Brooks. Brooks will get to the inside of the 48. Rogers going to try and power by on the outside. We'll hold him here, at least down the backstretch, but here through 3 and 4. Top side definitely not as strong. Justin Brooks able to get on by. Rogers will slide to P number 3 as Brooks a little bit of blanket, looking good at the moment, but we saw him disconnect one race so far this season. He cannot afford another one if he goes after this championship fight. Now it's Brooks and Ron Hart. We saw these two duking it out at North Wilkesboro a few weeks ago. This time by, though, Brooks doesn't have the run. Are able to hold on to the lead at least another lap here. And oh, it looks like Hart says, you know what? You got the pace, man. I'm going to go worry about these tires. You can burn them on off. So there we go. Justin Brooks out to the front in the first 30 laps. He goes from the back to the lead here at New Smyrna. Ron Hart will hang on to second. Doesn't have to burn up any extra tire, allowing Brooks around on the high side like he did. A very veteran, a very smart move from the 51 machine. Now here comes Brendan LaBelle catching this pack as well. So the 4 car able to get now within 2 car lengths of Poyer. Now make it 1 down the backstretch. Right behind them, Tanner Tallarico starting to put the pressure on Chuck Darling for 6th as well. Into turn number 3, this pack comes, and this pack's starting to accordion just a little bit. Oh, big time sideways for quite a few drivers. The driver that was the most sideways, definitely this 4 car out there, as he might have to back down the pace just a little bit, cool off that right rear tire. But right now, still able to keep the pressure on this first 4 car pack. Further on back here, Ace Hart still clicking off the laps here in the 145 machine. He sits in the 12th position, still on the lead lap. And 11th is the 41 machine of TJ Hansen, trying to track down 10th place runner JT Batson here in the 906. Jeff Dillon currently running in the 9th position here in the 52. Dave Payne is up into 8th. Tanner Tallarico making up the 7th position. 6th at the moment is the 88 of Chuck Darling. Then we head to the top 5 in that battle there. 5th is Brendan LaBelle, then 4th Zach Poyer, 3rd Tim Rogers, 2nd Ron Hart. Hart starting to put some distance as, oh, contact there between LaBelle and Coyer. Both cars will spin, and we get our first caution of the night as the 4 and the 13 machine make contact there in turns 1 and 2. So alrighty, both cars making contact there. Let's back it up just a little bit more, try and see what happened there. LaBelle thinking he has a little bit of a run within that car length gap, but then shoots it way down to the inside, fires it down in there, kind of pushes up just a little bit, was into the door at least of Coyer, but I think a move that Coyer definitely maybe wasn't expecting with this many laps left in this one. So LaBelle here and Coyer go tag on to the end of the field. Quite a few takers down on pit road. Tanner Tallarico, Dave Payton, both down on pit road to take some tires. So they're gambling that, hey, this might be our only caution of the night. If that's the case, they are coming down, taking those tires and saying, hey, we'll try and use those to our advantage. Jeff Dillon down in a way. I think Dillon only taking right side tires out here tonight. Looks like that is the case. Tanner Tallarico, Dave Payne gonna take 4. Same with the 906 of JT Batson, as oh, it looks like Batson may be disconnected here. Batson nowhere to be found. So That'll be a tough break for the 906 here. Noah Boucher able to get back out onto the speedway here. He can at least make up one more spot if the 906 does not rejoin here tonight. Looks like the 4-car of Brendan LaBelle going to tap out on that one. He will drop to the tail end of the field. Say, you know what, guys, that was my bad. I'll take the claim for that. So you love to see the sportsmanship there. Out in front, we get ready to rock and roll. Justin Brooks going to choose the outside lane. Rest of the field going to re-rack, restack, and we get ready to fire off for our first restart of the night. The 33 machine of Justin Brooks in control. The 51 of Ron Hart also making up the front row here on restart number 1. The iRacing pace car heads on down. Justin Brooks on the loud pedal, and we go back to green flag racing here at New Smyrna. Justin Brooks away with a great restart out in front. Then side by side for third as Chuck Darling gets the momentum up top. Darling with the power move. He will take over P number 3 here. Tim Rogers will fall back to Ford. Zach Coyer even involved in that one. Still up in the top 5, but Coyer has to watch out. New tires are behind him as Dave Payton tries to work over the 41 machine of TJ Hansen. Oh man, Payton and Hansen make contact. Somehow Hansen hangs onto that race car. Now we'll hold up Jeff Dillon just a little bit there in the 52 machine. Brendan LaBelle able to get on through, so LaBelle back up to 8th here. But the cars we got to keep on an eye on here with their pace is the 38 machine of Payton and Tallarico. They have to hope this race goes green flag racing to the end, and they can try and make these new tires work here late into this one. Here, battle inside of the top 10. Jeff Dillon able to get around TJ Hansen for the 9th position. As Dillon able to keep that car nice and low through turns 1 and 2. He will be able to complete the pass. So Dillon back up into 9th. Hansen still hanging on to a top 10 spot here. Looks like Batson still out of this one. So like I said, Noah Boucher can get that position here and quite a few laps, but still can at least make up one more spot before it's all said and done. Dave Payton last time by, best lap of the race so far for the 38. He is trying to work these new tires here nicely, and he is now trying to get around Zach Coyer in the 13 machine for 5th. Coyer will slam the door shut, maybe a little bit on entry, wash on up at the apex, and get big time loose off turn number 4. Dave Payton on those fresher tires, able to make that inside line stick. Payton, though, not quite clear yet. Those two will drag race down the backstretch. As Payton able to get clear, Dave Payton up into the top 5 for the first time here tonight. Zach Coyer will look for the crossover, nothing doing there. Now here comes the 1 car of Tanner Tallarico. We'll go from the high side to the low side, and the 1 car of Tallarico will get clear of Coyer. So Tanner Tallarico, after taking those tires back up to where he was, so far at the moment, no net loss of position, and he has better tires. Like I said, the 38 and the 1 just need this race to go green to the end, and they could be sending some really good spots. As out in front here, Justin Brooks continued to lead the way here in the 33. Ron Hart in 2nd. Chuck Darling holding on to 3rd, but having some company now. Tim Rogers all over the back bumper, and Rogers bringing along those new tires of Dave Payton and Tanner Tallarico. 3 teammates sit in a line here. How will this work on out? As Payton will bounce it off the wall there off turn number 2. Payton high once again off corner number 4, able that time though to keep it off of the wall. Both these guys just trying to time up the pass, time up the run when they can pounce on the cars in front of them. Right now just kind of waiting for that mistake, as no, Payton kind of pushing the envelope right on the apron, That opens up the door now for Tallarico to get up into the top 5. Tanner Tallarico able to complete the pass, so Tallarico up into 5th. We'll have to see what the 1 car can do, trying to work over the 48 and the 88 in front. As off turn number 4 there, Tim Rogers will take a look to the inside. Nothing doing though that time. That's a great battle here. 3rd through about 8th position. All 5 of these cars, or maybe 6 of them, all under a blanket. As Rogers looks to the inside of Darling, able to get a nose down there. Can he get the run off the corner? No, he cannot. Here comes now Tanner Tallarico up in lane number 2. Lane number 2 works really well in 1 and 2. This side he'll struggle. Will Rogers lift out early, let the 1 car down? Kinda does. And it looks like Tallarico up into 4th. Let's see if he can get around the 88 of Darling. Now Dave Payne in the 38 going to try and do the same move he just saw Tallarico do. Looks like now Payne will get clear, maybe not. He'll drive it in there deep, get a little bit loose, so Payne not quite clear of the 48 down the front stretch. Diving down into turn number 1, Dave Payne able to get clear there. Tanner Tallarico, a big time arc in turns 1 and 2. As it looks like Rogers able to hang on to 6th here at the moment. Great battles through the speedway now. Here comes Tallarico to the inside of Darling. Those 2 will go side by side into turn number 3. No, they won't. Tallarico will get out of it early. Darling will fire it on in there up in the 2nd lane. They'll try again here down in turns 1 and 2. It is so tough to be able to keep the momentum but not overdrive the corner, especially on the inside lane here at New Smyrna. Out in front, Justin Brooks kind of getting hunted down maybe just a little bit by Ron Hart. That time much more even for the battle for 3rd, as Darling and Tallarico will drag race down the backstretch. Through 3 and 4, both of them will go. Give the advantage to Tallarico at the stripe. Will he get clear off turn number 2? It looks like yes, he does. Tanner Tallarico up into 3rd. Now here comes Dave Payne, going to try and do the same. Well, 1 car big time sideways off turn number 4. I believe that was a 16 machine of Noah Boucher. Boucher able to get that 12th position here, but has to have hope for some big time calamity to make up any more positions before the end of this one. Side by side for 4th here as Payne trying to work over Chuck Darling. Right behind them, Zach Coyer able to get around Tim Rogers. Now Rogers has a full rear view mirror of the big red 4. Still side by side for that 4th position. And folks, we have already crossed the halfway point here tonight. So less than half of the race left into this one. Payne able to get clear. Darling still stuck up in lane number 2. Here comes Zach Coyer to try and take advantage of it. Coyer not on those newer tires, but the guy that is also on newer tires, Jeff Dillon, has caught the back end of this group. So can Dillon slice his dice his way through this one? Darling and Coyer still side by side here for that 5th position. Coyer down low in the white 13. Darling up top in the brown 88. And it seems like this top line, the more laps that are put onto it, the better it is, as we get a caution flag out here. As it looks like Zach Coyer will go spinning for a 2nd time here tonight. We'll take a look here to see what happened coming off of turn number 4. Looks like, man, Coyer just having too much wheel on during the apex, just got on the loud pedal, and that thing just walked on around on him. As here we go. This is not what those other cars that pitted under the first caution wanted, because here comes the rest of the field. Justin Brooks, Ron Hart, Chuck Darling, Tim Rogers, TJ Hansen, and probably Ace Hart all down on pit road this time. So here we go. Tanner Tallarico will elect the outside on the restart here. That'll put Dave Payton inside of the front row. And right behind them sits new tires of Justin Brooks, Chuck Darling, Brendan LaBelle, as we get ready to rock and roll here. Tanner Tallarico in control of the restart. He can fire on off. He will do so. And we go back to green flag racing as the field will dive down into turn number 1. Justin Brooks already to the high side of Dave Payton. He is trying to use up those new tires nice and early, as now he'll go side by side with Tallarico. Oh, Brooks misses entry onto turn number 3. Those tires definitely not up to temp yet. Gonna take a few laps to get them warmed on up here, as that time he'll get clear once again of Payton. Now the 4 car all over the back bumper of the 38. This time by at the stripe, it goes 51 laps to go. Tallarico gonna try and protect the inside lane. Justin Brooks gonna try and get high side and handsome here at New Smyrna and try and take the lead the hard way. Brooks with the advantage off of turn number 4, and Justin Brooks back out to the race lead on some new shoes here tonight. Tanner Tallarico in 3rd, Dave Payton hanging on to 4th. Brendan LaBelle in 5th, Chuck Darling rounding out our top 5, but Darling under fire because here comes Ron Hart as well. Hart and Darling go side by side, 2 teammates duking it on out. A little bit tight in the apex, a little bit loose on corner entry for both of those cars. Darling definitely not an easy driver to pass here, and at New Smyrna, both lanes starting to come to life. It's going to be a tough pass for the 51 machine. Darling, I think with all the laps he spent up in lane number 2, he has figured out a good rhythm up there, and he is now making every single driver work for that position to get around the 88. Hart able to get clear. Here comes Darling trying to get on around. Oh, 1 car big time in the wall. That is a 13 machine of Zach Coyer. He'll keep it up and out of the way here at the moment. Now Ron Hart to the inside of Brendan LaBelle. Both those cars, they might lean on each other just a little bit through turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch, they'll trade a little paint, trade some more paint. Ron Hart able to get clear. Now LaBelle under fire from Darling, but move Ron Hart up into 4th. LaBelle will try and fire one back. Won't quite get there in time as he gets big time loose. That will now definitely open up the door for Darling. Darling and LaBelle make contact. The 4 will save it, but big time sideways. Man, a heck of a save by the 4 car there. At one point, he was facing dead straight to the wall. able to hang on to that one, but we'll have a lot of ground to make up here to catch the field once again. Out in front though, Justin Brooks leading the way, Tallarico third, Dave Payne still hanging on to third, but Ron Hart has closed up the gap here. Hart will take a peek to the left rear quarter panel of Payne. But that outside lane, especially turns 1 and 2, can get such a good run off the corner that it is tough to make a pass stick. We'll try again here in 1 and 2, but right now Payne just has to hit his marks, not make any sort of mistakes. Though Hart will fire it in there deep, able to get even. Looks like Payne gonna try and hang out on the outside as long as he can. Able to slot on down, but Darling fires the nose on in there as well. 40 laps to go left in this one, as Payton now stuck up in the outside lane. We'll get a shot in the shorts from Tim Rogers with now 39 laps to go. As things start to cool on off, I say we turn it on up and do a little turn 3, turn it up here at New Smyrna Speedway. We come back here to live racing action here. Justin Brooks leading the way over Tanner Tallarico. Now Ron Hart starting to close up the gap a little bit, tightening up our top 3. Chuck Darling up into 4th. Kind of in no man's land here at the moment, but trying to make things work. Tim Rogers has driven back up into the top 5. Jeff Dillon has just gotten around Dave Payne, but still a battle for 6th on the speedway here. Dillon will get clear there off of turn number 4. Here comes Payne with the crossover move going into turn number 1. Payne down low will wash on up like we've seen all night in 1 and 2. It's going to be a pretty even drag race down the backstretch. There's a battle for the 6th position as Payne will try and get clear of the 52, not quite able to do so. Now almost Jeff Dillon, if he can get a good run on exit, he has the advantage in the 52. Able to draw even, able to draw in front of Payton. A great battle for 6th here on the speedway. Now with about only 30 laps to go, we're about 5 laps away, folks, from the countdown clock, and then we get into the witching hour here at New Smyrna for the penultimate race of the Summer Postma Ford Late Model Stocks Tour. Still side by side, a great battle for 6 as Jeff Dillon doing everything he can up in lane number 2. Dave Payne doing a great job on the bottom side to stay off of that car, as now Dillon will get clear. He will get into 6 as we get a caution flag on the speedway as the big red number 4 machine will come to a stop, get that car back rolling, and we'll bunch up the field here. We'll try and see what happened to Brendan LaBelle here off turn number 2. And it looks like just gets sideways, gets a little bit behind the wheel, and then goes for a wild spin, keeping the foot in the gas to keep off that wall on the inside. Some really good real car driving instinct there to keep your foot mashed, drive it away from that inside wall, and I don't think any damage to that 4 car. So that will slow up the field, bunch them on up, and we'll leave now about a 25 lap shootout here in this one. TJ Hansen going to be the lucky dog car, so I believe that will put 9 cars back onto the lead lap as we see the 41 here get his lap back and get back onto the lead lap here. So with that, next time by, we'll get the 1 to go signal, and yep, folks, with that, it will be exactly a 25 lap shootout here at New Smyrna. Justin Brooks leading the way. Then it is Tanner Tallarico second, Ron Hart third, Chuck Darling fourth, Tim Rogers fifth, Jeff Dillon sixth, seventh is Dave Payton, eighth is TJ Hansen, ninth Brendan LaBelle, 10th Ace Hart, and then drivers that have had some issues here tonight. Zach Corey 11th, 12th Noah Boucher, and then JT Batson in 13th. Justin Brooks will choose the inside lane. That'll move the 1 car of Tallarico outside of the front row as we get ready to turn him loose for 25 more laps here tonight at New Smyrna. Justin Brooks in control. We'll see when he fires on off right in the middle of the restart zone. As here we go back to green flag racing as the field will dive down in turns 1 and 2. How well can Tallarico hold his own up in that second lane? He is under fire from Hart. Hart will fire it in deep into turn number 3. Ron Hart will take over second position. Now Tallarico able to get on his own into third as a battle for fourth, side by side right behind him between Rogers and Darling. 1 car in the wall there. I think that was a 52 machine of Jeff Dillon. I think didn't get the wall too bad, only maybe with the right rear quarter panel. As a field very racy, they know this could be the last spots they could get at the end of this one. As Darling and Rogers make contact in 3 and 4. They will somehow keep it straight, keep it green, but that was some big time contact there. I wouldn't be surprised if Chuck Darling's car not going to be driving the same after that one. With that contact, that puts Rogers up in the fourth, the top 3, able to get on away just a little bit. Dave Payton has made it back up into 5th. Jeff Dillon in 6th here. As I believe 1 car, 1 lap down, the 4 car of LaBelle here, duking it out, just trying to get some racing in before the end of this one. Same with the 16 of Noah Boucher. He's in the mix as well, battling it on out. That time by at the stripe. It is 20 laps to go left in this one. Boyer will lose a spot to Boucher. Boucher will move up to 11th here. Now 19 to go. Justin Brooks leads the way over Ron Hart. Tanner Tallarico in 3rd. Tim Rogers 4th. Dave Payton 5th. Payton, though, under fire from that lap car. Just a little bit of the 4. I don't think we'll have enough time to get the lap back the hard way, but he just wants to have some fun, maybe race it on out just a little bit with the cars around him. As they make a little bit of contact there. As he gets into the side of our 5th place driver. Payne will let him on go, but Payne big time sideways there off turn number 4. You saw the back end of the 38 way kick out. Those hands have to really correct real quick. As a battle for 2nd here, Tanner Tallarico has run down Ron Hart, and Tallarico takes over the P2 spot. Further on back, we just saw a pass as well. Jeff Dillon into the top 5. He started in 5th. He is currently running in 5th as a 52 up into 5th. Dave Payton back to 6th once again. Chuck Darling in 7th. We saw the contact between him and the 48. and he is trying to get back up there, try and get maybe one, if not two more spots before it's all said and done. But he only has 15 laps to do so, with the 16 of Noah Boucher in between as well. Brendan LaBelle here putting the pressure on our fourth place driver, Tim Rogers. As Rogers gets sideways, Rogers gets turned here. Tim Rogers running in the fourth position will get turned on around off turn number 2. He'll have to wait to get that shipper righted here. Let's see if he can stay in front of the pace car and not lose a lap. But let's take a look, see what happened between the 48 and the 4 car. That was 1 lap down. LaBelle will get a shot in the shorts there to the 48. And then off at turn number 2, the 48 enters maybe a little bit low. It gets a little sideways. And the 4 car right there as well. I think maybe a little bit too hard of racing for what they were doing. As it looks like with that caution here, Ace Hart will be the lucky dog. So the 145 car will get back onto the lead lap here. So that, I believe, will put 9 cars back onto the lead lap. As with that 4th caution here tonight, folks, it is going to be about a 9-lap shootout. So if we thought things were intense with that 25-lap shootout, now we'll have about a 9-lap shootout. So Tim Rogers sits in front of the field when he got that car rolling. The pace car did pass, but able to get it rolling before the leader. So when we get the 1 to go signal, the 48 of Rogers will get back on the lead lap. We'll tag onto the back of the field. So he will have his work cut out for him with this one. As lights will go on out there, will go the 48 of Rogers. He will try and hustle on around to catch the back of the field. As it looks like Justin Brooks will elect the outside lane here with a 9-lap left. Sprint to the finish. Tanner Tallarico will make up the other car on the front row, will be on the inside lane. As here we go, the iRacing pace car ducks on off. Justin Brooks in control. Brooks on the loud pedal, and we go back to green flag racing with 9 laps to go. Man, what a restart the 52 of Jeff Dillon did. Where did he come from? He was riding on around, managing those tires. Jeff Dillon trying to get second away from Tanner Tallarico. Those two will continue to stay side by side for second with now 8 laps to go. Ron Hart right there as well. Tallarico will drive it in there deep, able to slide in front of the 52. Here comes now the 51 of Hart. Hart and Dillon will now go side by side as a battle for a podium spot. Battle to talk to me at the end of this one. Hart will fire it in there deep. Will try and get clear. Will in fact get clear just barely. Will give Dillon a lane up in the second lane if he needs it. But now Jeff Dillon needs to get back down to the bottom side while there's an opening. He does just that. So single filed out for the top 4. Top 5 though still up in the air as Chuck Darling, Dave Payton duke it out. Brendan LaBelle sits there right behind them. First car 1 lap down. If we get a caution late in this one, the 4 car can get back on the lead lap here. 5 to go that time by from the flagman. An open palm here as things getting to the end of this one. Battle for 5th though, not over. Darling trying to take that wounded race car up on the outside of Dave Payton. Let's ride on board with Chuck Darling, see what he is seeing out the back of that one. You can see Payton, you can see just the run you can get down the backstretch. Then 3 and 4 inside lane, definitely a little bit better. But it's all about that run, that momentum, as Darling will edge out Dave Payton down the front stretch. But here comes that big run, like I said. He can pinch that inside car down. Look at that momentum the 88 has. He will get clear of Payne for 5th. Popsicle sticks up in the air. It is 2 laps to go here at New Smyrna. Justin Brooks trying to go for how many in a row it is. He sees the white flag. This race is official. 1 more lap to go here tonight. He just has to make it down the backstretch through 3 and 4 with no big issues like that. But so far, so good. And off of turn number 4, Justin Brooks picks up yet another checkered flag and 5 bonus points for winning the shotgun challenge. Our points leader coming into tonight, Tanner Tallarico, will finish 2nd. Ron Hart will round out the podium here tonight. As that will do it here for New Smyrna. We, of course, have the post-race show. Don't go anywhere. You guys will want to stick around for that. We'll be talking to Ron, Tanner, and Justin after this one, as Noah Boucher will congratulate the 33 machine, as Justin Brooks will park it here down in Victory Lane on the front stretch. And, folks, we will head back to a quick commercial break. And on the other side, our post-race show and wrapping things on up. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back in 3 minutes.
iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Alrighty, folks, we come back here to the New Smyrna Speedway to chat with our post-race finishers. The first driver we'll be talking to here tonight is the 51 machine of Ron Hart. Ron, you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Yeah, but I got you.
Alrighty, my man. 125 laps done and over with here at New Smyrna. How are we feeling after it, my man?
Good, man. It was a fun race. Little different strategy today. Last week, I tried to race the hell out of Justin and still couldn't beat him. So today, I just kind of decided I'd let him go and race the humans and got second in the human category. So I had a good battle there with Tanner. He needed little points, and that second place meant more to him. So I got a little loose and didn't want to race him too hard and risk his points. So settled for third in the race, second in our division behind Tanner. So we'll take it.
Yeah, overall, another great night for you, Ron. And I'm sure a lot better feeling than what you felt on Sunday out of Wausau, right? That race seemed hot, miserable. I'm sure you're much rather enjoying racing in some AC here on iRacing after that one, right?
Yeah, looking back, probably should have stayed home Saturday, but learned a lot. So I mean, it was worth it. We learned some stuff that will improve for our biggest race of the year coming up in a couple weeks. So happy we went, happy we learned that. It was pretty miserable out though. It wasn't fun. Racing is supposed to be fun, so when you go and spend the whole day and it's not fun, it's not very enjoyable. Got some bad tires, killed us in qualifying. Didn't really plan on starting the LCQ, but was pretty PO'd after qualifying, so decided to get out there and get after it, and had to give a little bumpers, which I'm not proud of, but made the race, got the money. So that was the goal for the day. So overall, successful day Saturday. Just didn't enjoy the temperature for sure.
Yeah, it definitely was a hot one out there for sure, and just that muggy heat that sticks to you. But like you said, a good overall night. Didn't start the way you wanted to, but like you said, you made the big dance, and that's where it's at, right?
Yeah, like I told Tanner on the radio, it was a $600 pass with 2 to go there to get in the race. It's 200 to start the B and it's 800 to start the A. So that was the goal. Got the money, learned a lot, and cars in one piece and ready to go for next week.
Yeah, that it is. Next week's definitely going to be a big one for you. You're gunning at the new shoe, and I tell you what, that 51 mod, if it's firing on all cylinders like it has been here, when it goes right, man, that thing looks fast, right?
Yeah, I think we're the only new shoe eligible car to make the A. So I mean, that's promising. If we can get a good draw, it's a draw for your starting spot. That's not the greatest for me. Hopefully, get a good draw. It's only 35 laps, so it'd be tough to get up there from the back. But if we can get a good draw and the car stays in one piece, I like our chances for sure. But it's going to be a tough race. Some of these guys I've never raced with and don't really know how good they're going to be. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that it will be. But here tonight, Ron, able to walk away with a P number 3. And it seemed like at some places, you and Justin Brooks able to keep some sort of pace where you just minding your P's and Q's saying, hey, we got to take care of these tires if we don't get that caution. But then, yeah, right at the halfway point, we do get the caution. You say, might as well slap them on, see what they got, right?
Yeah, I think there's some of the old SVG in the Cup Series. I think he's just playing with us and trying to keep it a little bit close. Not just blow us out, save his tires. When he has to go, I catch him, he just drives away by a second. So I think there's some of that going on. Again, my expectation was try to finish second tonight, got third, so we almost captured that. It was fun to try. I don't think I can beat him. I mean, this is one of my best tracks, and I wasn't even close. So we'll keep at it and keep having fun racing the guys around my skill level and look try again one more time next week.
Yeah, next week, season finale, Kern Raceway for 150 laps. How are you feeling about that place?
Good man, for sure. I mean, I like this place better than that place. So it's not one of my best places ever, but it's a fun racetrack. You can race. It's not hard to pass. You can run a little side by side, a couple grooves. So I'm sure it'll put on a good show and be a fun race. And we'll see if we can win the human division.
Yeah, I know. It should be a good one at that, Ron. And you, my man, congrats on the P number 3. So before we let you go and celebrate that podium finish, we're going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you want to give a shout out to on the broadcast here.
First off, Ace wanted me to give a shout out to Zach Coyer. He's real sorry. He got into him under caution. He's still learning. Justin his fuel there under caution, was looking down at his keyboard and kind of junked both their cars, and he feels really bad. So I don't know if Zach watches these interviews, but Ace wanted me to give him a sorry on here for that. He felt really bad about it, and hopefully learned not to do that until he slowed down next time. Other than that, just shout out to my parents for watching, and you guys doing a great broadcast. And it's been a fun league, man. It's been a good season of late model stocks, and rumor has it maybe we're going to Supers next year, and I look forward to that.
Yeah, definitely some exciting news here on the brink of stuff. But yeah, Ron, always great having you, my man. Thanks again for taking your time out of the week, spend it with us, put on the great show that you do. So you, my man, take care, have a great rest of your week, and I'm sure we could be easily talking to you next week at Kern.
Thanks, Brett.
Alrighty, folks, that was our third place finisher, the 51 of Ron the Hitman Hart. Now we'll head up to our runner-up finisher, that going to the 1 car of Tanner Tallarico. Tanner, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet in the booth here.
Gotcha, Brett.
Alrighty, my man, first and foremost, how we feeling after 125 laps here at New Smyrna?
That was better than I thought for being on old tires. I thought for sure when we got that caution about halfway that my race was over. When we pit after 30 laps, I was already down like 20% on my right side tires. So I had a big advantage. I was hoping that it was going to go green, and then we had Dave Payton jinx us because he was on the same strategy, and right before that caution came out, all right, we just need it to go green the rest of the way, and then the next lap the caution comes out. So blame that one on Dave, I guess. But yeah, no, nonetheless, that was a fun race. New Smyrna's a good time, and glad that we finally came back here, because the one other time we were here a long time ago, I remember the race was really fun. I think we had some technical issues or something that night, but I remember the practice and qualifying and heat races and things were really fun. So I was looking forward to coming back here, and I really like this track. And car here is a little bit of a struggle, just because you got to slow it down so much, and this is really a momentum-based car, so passing was a little bit difficult. But once everybody kind of got on different tire strategies and stuff, it made it a little bit easier to pass. But up until that point, it was a little tough. But yeah, we'll come home with second, and anytime I finish second to Justin Brooks, I count it as a win. So we'll take that and move on to next week. I think we're at Iowa.
Yeah, as Ron said, you won the human race out of everyone out here tonight. But
yeah, sometimes you get behind Justin and you just try to keep up. For a minute there on old tires, I was hanging with him for a couple laps, and I could kind of tell my right rear tire was just starting to get to the point where it was going to start giving up on me. And these cars, you can't really afford to slide it that much. So at that point, I was just trying to maintain and kind of race the guys behind me. And at that point, I just kind of saw Justin drive away off into the sunset, knowing there was nothing I could do. So yeah, Ron's pretty spot on with that comment, that's for sure.
Yeah, that he is. And yeah, Tanner, like you said, it would seem like it was tough to pass here tonight, but it put on some good side-by-side racing. It seemed like 1 and 2 maybe advantage up on the top lane, but then 3 and 4 bottom side where it's at. So how'd you kind of pick and choose passes with knowing that? And then on top of that, how'd you defend from those new tires right behind you for multiple restarts?
I think as far as setting people up goes, I don't really know if it was as much of, just picking the right lane on the right end as much as it was timing. Like, I just tried to make sure that on entry, if I thought that I had a little bit stronger car than somebody in front of me, I tried to set it up so that I wasn't right on their bumper on entry, and kind of just really backed my lift point up so I could try to beat them back to the gas and then get a big run off the corner. Normally you get lucky, and sometimes they might have a bobble or something like that, and you can pull up underneath them on exit and then race down the straightaway to the next corner. That was really the name of the game. At least for me, I felt like that was the name of the game, is just try to beat them back to the gas. Even at that point, that makes it still really tough to get alongside them, and you kind of just got to wait for them to bobble or miss the bottom or push up from the second lane into the third lane, just some kind of mistake where you can take that momentum and get alongside them. But then, yeah, the restarts on the old tires, I think the cautions definitely actually probably helped me. I think if the race would have went green longer, I probably would have been in more trouble than I was. But I think just the whole field being locked together and, like a big old blob made it a lot harder to really do anything. So if I could just launch somewhat on par with Justin on the restarts and get myself single file while everybody else was 2x2 behind me, I could kind of get some breathing room and hold on a little bit. And then it just seemed like as soon as those guys would get runs on me and start eating the lead back away, the caution would come out and the cycle would repeat. So yeah, it worked out, and we'll take a second place and good points day. I believe we had 0x. It was a crazy race, lots of contact and stuff like that in the pack. So we'll take the 0x and good points, and got a lap lead bonus, I think, somewhere in there. And yeah, it's about as good as you can get aside from finishing first.
Yep, definitely a great points night for the points leader coming in and leaving tonight. And Tanner, only one race left, Kern County next week. How do you go feeling it? One, feeling going into the race, and then two, the mindset mentality, knowing it's one more to go and you just got to put a race together.
Yeah, you just got to show up and really at this point just not have anything haywire happen. I mean, I think Justin's probably going to win next week too and pick up another 5 bonus points. So I kind of already written that off. So I think I've got like a 15-point lead after they factor in the bonus points from tonight. So really I'm going into next week thinking I've got like 10 points to play with. So we'll go in there and just biggest thing is going to keep the nose on it. Worst case scenario is Justin gets back to the front, wins the race, picks up the 5 bonus points, but we can think like that and just do our own race and stay out of trouble and try to, just have a clean under the radar type deal and maybe finish top 6 or 7, I think we're going to be okay. So that's going to be our goal. And not worried about trying to win the race or anything like that. Just want to make sure that we have Justin out our windshield like relatively close and stay out of trouble. I think that's going to be what you got to do.
Yeah, definitely sounds like a good game plan going into next week, Tanner, and we wish you the best luck. But here tonight, my man, runner-up finish, P number 2, great points tonight. So before we let you go and celebrate it, I'm going to go hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, whether sponsors, teammates, or anyone else you want to give a shout-out to on the broadcast here tonight.
Yeah, so first things first, every time I get the opportunity, I got to thank my primary sponsor, Elick Brothers Roofing. Not only are they my primary sponsor, but they're also my employer, so definitely got to make sure I get that plug in there. Tellerico's Boardwalk Subs, Accurate Inspections, KRW Performance and Customs, Mike's High Performance Gears. Obviously, you, Brett, for doing this stuff week in and week out. You guys don't get enough props for what you do for the league. It's awesome what you guys do weekend with turn 3 and everything, and how long that's been going. So we appreciate you. Another season about wrapped up. If I don't get a chance to talk to you next week, then at least want to thank you one more time while I got the opportunity. And then the whole admin panel. Andrew's not here tonight, so that was a little crazy trying to do all that on the fly, but we got through it. The whole admin team for all they've done this season. Again, I don't know if I get a chance to talk to you next week, so just want to do a little house cleaning here real quick. So all the admin guys, the members here at ASRC, the summer seasons are always tough on the leagues. So just everybody's got so much going on, and the car counts and stuff dip. So everybody that's shown up, appreciate you. Everybody that's watching at home that's looking to come race with us in the fall, can't wait to have you back. And last but not least, I don't know if she's watching live or if she's going to watch the replay, but it is my girlfriend's birthday today. So if I don't say happy birthday to Riley, I'm sure I'm going to hear about it later. So happy birthday, love you, and I will hopefully be talking to you next week, Brett.
All righty, I hope so too, Tanner. So you, my man, go have a great rest of the night and go get ready for championship week next week.
Thanks, buddy.
All righty, folks, that was our runner-up finisher, the one car of Tanner Tallarico. Now we head to the man of the hour. It is the 33 machine. It is Justin Brooks. Justin, do you got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh man. First and foremost, how we feeling after 125 laps here at New Smyrna?
I feel pretty good. Honestly, I could have went about another 7,500 laps there, but I mean, it was a lot of fun. I like these longer races. I mean, you got to conserve the tire for the most part in case it does go green to the end, and try to keep, like I said, mind your P's and Q's, keep the car clean, and go trying to get for the checker flag at the end. So I mean, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, that it was. And you, my man, telling to keep those tires under you, but you drove up to like the top 5 in the first 10 laps. I was like, man, this guy's on a mission, and that mission never stopped until he took the lead, it seemed like, here tonight.
I mean, I was trying to be patient because I seen a few of the guys who was starting up near the front, so I was like, I don't know what's going to go on, but found some holes and took advantage of them, and then just started picking them off one by one and trying to keep the right rear up under it at the same time, but also take advantage of, I guess, me knowing this track really good. It's like I said, it's one of my favorite tracks behind South Boston in this car for sure, and definitely could put the car anywhere I wanted to tonight. Setup was really good, so it had a lot of drive off, and at least on the 2 tires there at the end for sure. But like at the beginning of the race, it did as well. I mean, I honestly thought about not even pitting there that halfway break. My tires were good enough. I definitely could have made it to the end. I was just trying to ride at a certain pace, and when Ron got a little bit close to me, I'd pick it up a little bit, just keep a buffer, and like I said, keep the tires up under it. And yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a lot of fun. I love this track.
Yeah, that it was. You put on a clinic here tonight at New Smyrna. And what was kind of the key that you found? I mean, especially at this track, it's high corner speeds with the banking, but then long straightaways. I assume it's all about getting that wheel straight, keep that right rear under you, like we heard you mention before, and get that runs off each corner without lighting up the rear tires.
Yeah, exactly. If you ran bottom of 1 and 2, you could. It's fast, but it's a little wishy-washy in the center, if that makes sense. And I was running the second lane. It gives you more of a straight drive off if you manage to throttle right, picking the throttle up, and then you can pretty much flat-foot it almost coming off the corner. And turn 3, it's all about point the nose the right direction and in the center of the corner. If you could do that, you can shoot straight off the corner as well, not having to worry about the right rear sliding off the corner when you're going up by the wall. So, I mean, it's all about, like I said, hitting your marks, being consistent, and I feel like I could do that pretty good tonight. I know when I was actually going there at the end, I was running, like I ran like a 14, 15, 15, 16, 16, 17. Like I was just wanting to see how consistent I could go. And sure enough, the car was up under me, so could show it off there a little bit at the end.
Yeah, definitely some flying laps there at the end once you turned up the wick a little bit. And, to really feel the edge of the car, we don't get any feel. So, do you rely these days more on the wheel feel, or is it still the classic, the visual of just that car getting that little bit sideways? Or what's kind of the biggest driving factor as the tires wear in a run for you?
It's all three. I mean, it does three different things. It's your wheel, it's your visual, and then it's your pedals. Like my pedals, they vibrate. I actually messed my computer up last week after I think it was a Thursday night or something like that, and had to redo all my wheel settings and graphic settings, everything like that. And now my vibrations on my pedals are up even more to the point where it's kind of annoying, but I can usually feel when the car is losing traction at all when it starts vibrating. So I mean, it's a good sense. Also can rely, like I said, on the visual and then the wheel input. I mean, I pretty much know for the most part with just I guess racing online enough, like how much wheel I got into it, if it's more than likely going to snap the car loose or not. And then just like I said, learning the setup, learning the car, learning the track. I mean, you pretty much get a balance of like what you need. And I mean, with this setup tonight, like I said, it was pretty good. If you could drive it right, it had really a lot of drive off. And like I said, it just played in my wheelhouse tonight.
Well, Justin, appreciate letting us get in the minds of you. And I tell you what, I always love doing some bench race and seeing what the fast guys are doing to make them good. And, just even trying to visualize it myself. So, Justin, we appreciate it. And, you know, now in the summer series, only one race left, Kern County, for an even longer race. You said you like the long races. How are we feeling about 150 laps at Kern next week?
If the setup's like it is tonight, that'd be great. Hopefully it's a little bit of a hotter track temp, where you can slide the car around. Because Kern, the biggest thing is if you got the track temp around low, it's gonna be super tight, hard to pass. It ain't gonna be fun. So I mean, if it's about 100, 110 degrees, I'll definitely be enjoying that. It'll be like Richmond pretty much in the car itself. So I mean, um, I don't think I got a shot pretty much at the championship tonight, especially with only what was it, 12, 13 cars starting the race. I knew that unless something happened to Tanner, that I could only gain a certain amount of points. I mean, I'm not too worried about that right now. I'm just gonna show up next week and try to win. I mean, if something happens to him, that's probably the only way that I can get back in it. It sucks. I mean, I wish I wouldn't have had South Boston happen where I was in the lead in my game crash, and it's on me. I should have showed up for like Dover and stuff. So I mean, I made it a challenge for myself. It was definitely fun trying to reel them back in with the points, but I'm gonna be a little bit short unless, like I said, something happens to them next week. So I mean, regardless, it'll be a good season. Missing two races in South Boston happened and finishing second in points if nothing happens to me next week. So I mean, can't complain about that. And like I said, just gonna try to show up and try to get another win. Like I said, I like Kern, so if everything plays out right, it's gonna be a good race.
Yeah, that it will be, and you're probably the fan favorite to pick up yet another checkered flag this season. But here at New Smyrna, Justin, able to pick up yet another checkered flag. So once again, congrats on the win. It was awesome to watch this 33 machine. And before we let you go, my man, we're going to go the old, the routine. So we'll hand over the mic to you and have you thank who you got to thank, my man.
Yeah, man. Thank you first and foremost. Like I tell you, each and every week you do a hell of a job on the stuff. Thank all the other admins over here that give us a fun place to race. All the drivers on the track tonight that can race you hard, give you room, pinch you, but also keep you from wrecking. I mean, there's a lot of fast guys, like I said, they don't give it to you, and it's a lot of fun racing these guys each and every week. Thank everybody out there watching. Thank my girlfriend. I think she's tuned into. I'm not sure. Have it text her in a little bit. JustinBrooksDesigns.com, Crow Sim Shots, Lot Deer Processing, the Shug Steakhouse. Pretty much it, man. Keep it short and sweet.
All righty, Justin. Well, once again, congrats on yet another victory this season. You, my man, go celebrate it. And we look forward to seeing you next week at Kern County. So you take care, my man.
We'll see you next week, buddy.
Alrighty, folks, that was our race winner, the 33 machine of Justin Brooks, getting the job done once again. So, folks, that will do it for the post-race show. Let's run through tonight's race results and get things wrapped on up. So, Justin Brooks picks up yet another win this season. Points leader Tanner Tallarico will finish second. Ron Hart will round out the podium here tonight. Finishing fourth is the 52 machine of Jeff Dillon. A great race for him when it's all said and done. Chuck Darling able to rebound to the top five. The 88 will finish fifth. Finishing in sixth is the 38 car of Dave Payton. How about this, folks? TJ Hansen in the 41 will finish, I believe, career best in the seventh position. Tim Rogers in the 48 will finish eighth. Ace Hart picks up another top 10 finish. The 145 will finish ninth. Rounding out the top 10, his first ever ASRC start, the 4 car of Brendan LaBelle. He had some speed, just got unlucky, getting trapped a lap down, could not overcome that here tonight. No Boucher in the 16 will finish 11th, 12th going to the 13 of Zach Coyer. JT Batson in the 906 will finish 13th, and then JJ McCrae did not make the call to the race here tonight. So first and foremost, we got to thank all of you guys tuning on in here live. Appreciate each and every one of you. Also got to give a shout out to all the replay viewers coming in here live. We appreciate all you guys supporting the Turn 3 Racing Network, as well as ASRC. ASRC, we got to thank, of course, the drivers putting on the show each and every week. Without them, there's nothing for us to watch. So got to give a shout out to all of the drivers here. Then, of course, the admin team that do all the hard work behind the scenes, as well as the sponsors, title sponsor being Postma Flooring. You can check them out with the link in the description. That will take you on over. If you're looking for some flooring in the West Michigan area, be sure to check them out. Also, we got to thank Boardwalk Subs and LaPlante Racing Products. So, yeah, that would do it for tonight. Penultimate race done and over with. We go to championship week next week, Kern County, 9 o'clock. You won't want to miss it. So, Turn 3 is also partnered with that little logo in the right side of your screen. That is Premier Setup Shops. They support Turn 3, allow us to do what we do as well with some extra flair. So if you guys would, even if you don't want to buy anything, a click would go a long way. If you do want to buy stuff, they have a lot of cool stuff from paint schemes, setups, as well as driver coaching. So, of course, got to give that great partnership a shout out. But yeah, that'll do it here tonight from New Smyrna. Race number 11 in the books. The checkered flag has fallen. Justin Brooks picking up yet another win. So everyone, take care, stay safe, have a great rest of your week, and we'll catch you in 1 week's time for championship night. So I've been Brett the Jet in the booth, and I just flew by you. Have a good one.